Oh, where is Zoolander when I need him? Blue steel, metallic. That is the exterior color of our 2020 Toyota Camry. We have the hybrid version this week. It comes in 6 trim levels. It was 5 last year, but this year they've added a new trim level. We'll talk about that new piece of information, plus 2 more for 2020. I'm excited to share with you my experience with this 5-passenger, mid-size, popular sedan. Also the Accord, Sonata, and Mazda 6 are vehicles that compete with this one, so you can tell it's got a rough road to compete for your attention. And it got my attention this week. I'm going to talk all about it right now with my overview, drive, and demonstrations. Let's get started. Count them, 6 trim levels: L, LE, SE, X, SE, XLE. And this year, Toyota Racing Development has put their stamp on the Camry in a TRD trim level, new this year. A trim usually reserved for their off-road vehicles, SUVs, and trucks, but now the Camry has it, even though I have the hybrid, which is the XLE trim level of ours. TRD might be pretty exciting for those who are looking for that trim level in their base Camry. So that's new this year. Also new this year, thank you Toyota, an all-wheel drive option. All-wheel drive option. That can be a deal breaker for some people looking for a vehicle when it's only front wheel or rear wheel drive. This one will now have an all-wheel drive option for you. Yes. Last year, Toyota included Apple CarPlay as an option on the Camry. This year, they're adding Android Auto integration. TRD, Android Auto, and all-wheel drive. 3 new big elements for the 2020 Camry this year. Let's take a closer look at what's under the hood of our tester. Now, under the hood of the non-hybrid versions of the Camry, there's a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder and a 3.5-liter V6 that will get you just over 200 horsepower and 300 horsepower with each of those engines. Ours here will get you over 200 horsepower, net horsepower, based on the Synergy drive system plus the engine we have here. And this is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder. And of course, it's going to be mated to an electronic CVT. The other ones are mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And fuel economy is fantastic. Some people in reviews that I've read are getting 50 miles per gallon in mixed driving. This is rated right there at 46 in mixed driving. Pretty darn impressive with the backseat legroom and headroom for a midsize. Super comfortable in our XLE trim level here. I'm 5'11". Here's what it looks like with me sitting behind myself, because as always, this is my position as a driver. Here, take a look at my leg room, my knee room behind the back seat. Plenty of space for someone my size. So if you are 6'2", 6'3", possibly 6'4", legroom should not be a problem. Headroom is not a problem as well. As you can see, the roof line has an indent for my old noggin. So for a guy who's 5'11", I still have some room here, a couple inch and a half or so before my head starts hitting the roof line. Other than that, it's pretty spacious for headroom. A little bit surprised that we don't have any USB ports back here for people to charge their smart devices. Usually, well, sometimes you have it right here, or you have some climate control options. We don't in our trim. And then with the fold down armrest, there are cup holders, but nothing here as well for charging or anything like that. Just an observation. So if you're thinking about, we do have 3 of them up there, charging ports, but nothing back here for the passengers. Clearly the Camry is family friendly. I had my baby car seat back here, so I can either use the seatbelt straps, or they have the child latch system down here. So if you have something that hooks into there, anchors into there, you're good to go. Cargo volume is especially spacious, just over 15 cubic feet of volume. So you can easily put groceries back there, some boxes, longer items, because we have the 60/40 fold down back seat split. I pull those tabs, fold that down, and down goes the long items. So there you go. Pretty spacious, don't you think? I'm gonna go handheld here and take you inside and show you the cabin. Get a closer look at the infotainment screen. They got a wireless charging pad down here from our smartphone, which is nice. when I didn't have my USB cable, I just put my phone there and it charged up. Let's go ahead and hit the blue button, start her up. Pretty quiet car, as you might expect with a hybrid. There's our chimes, our instrument cluster. Clean look here. One thing that seems to be a little bit on the outdated side is the graphics of the infotainment screen. So once this comes up, you'll be able to see, you know, I don't know, it just doesn't pop quite like I think it should. But here's the Apple CarPlay, because my phone is hooked up down there into the USB, but also that pad right there is a charging pad. If your phone is compatible, you can use it to charge your pad wirelessly. We have different drive modes, and the sport mode is very handy, works like a charm. Also an EV, normal, and eco mode. That's the brake hold right there. Pretty standard, straightforward looking infotainment screen. When I first got in the car to turn the volume, I hit the scroll button versus the volume button. But you do have on the steering wheel the controls there. Left-hand side's the volume, Bluetooth options here, and there's some of your safety. You can see here in the windshield we have a heads-up display, shows both the lane lines, also the speed of the vehicle. And this here will give you a view of around the car. Isn't that special? Pretty cool. So a surround view, just by hitting that button once, you can see all around the vehicle. Otherwise, I'll put it into reverse, and now we have the backup camera, and the lane lines do move when you move the steering wheel. So really nice safety features there, clear picture with the camera. This is what it's like living out here in the country in Washington. Get some visitors. Hey, what's up? Hey. We're looking at 31 degrees, so luckily I've got the heated seat options here, also ventilated seats if I want them. Keep my butt warm. What's the guy doing over there? I love wildlife, except when they get out in front of me when I'm driving. I think what impresses me most about driving the Camry, specifically the hybrid, not only how quiet it is, but how comfortable it is, and the suspension. You know, whether it's going over speed bumps through, you know, a fast food parking lot or the grocery store, it really absorbs those bumps, and I don't get a lot of up and down or jarring motions or movements in the car. It's pretty quiet as well inside the cabin. I don't know exactly if the engineers have added any sound deadening insulation, but it's pretty quiet for the ride, so it's peaceful inside. And the acceleration was surprisingly good. You know, with the net horsepower with that Synergy hybrid drive system combined with the 4-cylinder 2.5 liter to get over 200 horsepower. But it's got to be that immediate torque, most of the immediate torque that gets me up to speed. And using that sport option on the drive over here, man, you can get up to speed no problem. And it doesn't have a loud, you know, normally with the CVTs, you hear that drowning sound, not drowning sound, but droning sound. Well, with the electronic CVT, it's quiet. It doesn't have that terrible noise to it. So it's really comfortable and quiet to drive. And, you know, visibility around the vehicle is good too. You know, it's a typical mid-size sedan. You know, I would equate this to driving an Accord in terms of visibility. We do have one sunroof right here. Not that all of them have, you know, panoramic sunroofs, but one's good. So I close it up just to keep it a little, you know, cozier here on the inside. But I'm really impressed, and when I'm driving this going, dang, I could easily have this in my driveway. That's how much I like this car. You know, I would probably, my factors in deciding whether or not I'd buy this would be just probably price point, and the key thing for most drives is if you can go back to back with the cars you're deciding between. So if you are looking at a Toyota versus a Honda or a Mazda, hopefully the dealerships are nearby. Drive them back to back to back and write yourself some notes. That's what I do on some of my drive events with my Automotive Press Association. We'll have these big events where a lot of manufacturers will bring their cars out, and we get a chance to drive similar sized vehicles back to back. Makes a big difference. So I would encourage you to do that when you do your car shopping, is to drive like vehicles. So generally speaking, the MSRP range in our brand new 2020 Toyota Camry is between $28,000 and about $33,000. Ours here, the hybrid in the XLE, as seen, just under 40 grand. I know it's a lot of money for a brand new car, but this one has a lot to offer. The new features this year, I find it very spacious, comfortable to drive, plenty of good visibility inside the vehicle. Miles per gallon are fantastic. I like how quiet it is with a hybrid. This is a really nice car. I would definitely consider buying this one, and the blue steel doesn't hurt. Until next time, I'm Dave Erickson with Everyman Driver. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hope to see you back here next time. Adios. One more thing before you go, I've added links in the description below to some of the best-selling automotive accessories and products on Amazon right now, plus links to some of the product reviews I've done. You can find it in the description below this video. And if you don't mind, take a couple of seconds and click that subscribe button. I'm uploading 2, 3, sometimes 4 new videos every week, and I don't want you to miss anything, plus it helps support my channel. As always, if you have any constructive criticism, thoughts, or suggestions about my video, please leave it in the comment section below.